They scratch the surface and never think to look within.
Hey, welcome back to ScreenCrush, I'm Ryan Airy. So in this video, we're going to solve a big MCU mystery, and it's why the Infinity Stones are giving powers to superheroes.
What do you mean?
Well, two of the most powerful characters in the MCU receive their abilities from the stones, Captain Marvel and the Scarlet Witch, and also Quicksilver, in case you forgot about him too. Wanda's origin was retconned to reveal that she's using magic, but Wanda is still connected to the Mind Stone, so this is something else we're going to solve with our theory. But these are not the only people who have gained power from the stones. There's a lot more others actually. What if Season 2 introduced Kahori, who gained abilities from the Space Stone? So this made us go back and revisit everything we know about the Infinity Stones and everybody who got powers from them. And we came across some huge, hidden details that could explain why the stones are granting some individuals powers. Now, someone is responsible for this genetic manipulation, and no, it's not Kang. We believe that it has something to do with human DNA, a certain gene that was designed to create superhumans. And our theory ties into the next big thing in the MCU, the X-Men. Yeah, we think the Infinity Stones are actually setting up the mutants.
Hey, person, I got a question.
Oh my god, Doug, you look so cute in your little suit. Let me take a picture. Doug is wearing a suit today, so he looks like a big-time manager.
Hey, what was that?
Oh, you know, I've been keeping track of everything you do, say, and wear for my Day One journal.
Wait, you keep a journal about me?
Oh yeah, man, I've been journaling for a long time for a lot of reasons. Like 12 years ago, I was really depressed all the time, and journaling helped me to get through it and work through my problems. I'm actually a huge believer in journaling as a way to maintain your mental health, or to keep track of your new workout routine, or just a way to keep track of your kids, or even to catalog every movie you've ever seen in the theater like I've been doing with this list.
Jeez, what do you got, 5 different notebooks for all those different journals?
Nope, because I've been using the premium features on Day One Journal, by far one of my favorite sponsors we've ever had for this channel. Now I'm not kidding, this actually is a paper log of every movie I've seen in the theater, and I have been relogging them on Day One Journal. And you can also upload media like photos and videos of the dogs and cats in your life.
Well, I'm pretty flattered, I guess.
What I especially love about Day One Journal, especially over paper journals, is the search function. It's easy to search your entries and find every mention of somebody, or even every mention of a movie. They also offer privacy with end-to-end encryption, so you know that your personal thoughts will stay private. Journaling is also a great way to condition yourself to new habits. It's the new year. Maybe you want to start keeping a workout journal or to-do list. So Day One Journal has a ton of templates to help make journaling simple. And the premium features like speech to text, which I just used, and unlimited devices make this app so much easier than using a doc program or paper journals that you could lose. Again, if you want to try Day One Premium, we have an offer that is exclusive to ScreenCrush fans. Go to dayoneapp.com/ScreenCrush and use the code ScreenCrush to unlock a 2-month free trial of Day One Premium. You are going to love those premium features. That is DAYONE app.com/ScreenCrush and see why it's the #1 journaling app out there. Again, click the link below and use the code ScreenCrush to unlock a 2-month free trial of Day One Premium. Now, back to what I was saying. Alright, so let's start with the heroes that we know got their abilities from the Infinity Stones. Carol Danvers gained her cosmic powers from the Space Stone. Wanda and Pietro received their abilities from the Mind Stone. Well, at least this was the case before WandaVision retconned this origin. The show revealed that Wanda was a magical girl from the start. She is the Scarlet Witch, a powerful being who wields chaos magic, which makes you wonder what that even means for Pietro.
So, the stone gave her powers or not? I am confused, person.
Well, we believe we solved this, but it's part of a bigger theory that I'm going to explain in just a moment. Also, this is a good place to mention that heroes gaining powers from the stones is something that only happens in the MCU. In the comics, characters must actually hold the stones to harness their cosmic power. But for the most part, the stones don't create super cosmic people.
Super cosmic people? Person, that name is terrible.
Okay, fine, well what would you call people who get powers from the stones?
I don't know, infinity beings?
That's not bad, I like it, high five. So what's so important about these infinity beings is that they don't need the stones to use their powers. And this is why we're not counting the Vision. He is getting his energy directly from the stone that is in his head. Also, Vision isn't human. He's a robot made of vibranium and some human tissue.
As a carbon-based synthesoid.
So this brings us to the newest hero in the MCU, Kahori. Now like Carol, she got her powers from the Space Stone. Kahori is a Native American from an alternate universe, a reality where Odin sent the Space Stone to North America instead of Norway. The Tesseract shattered upon impact and landed in a lake. Anyone who gets in its waters is transported to a planet called Skyworld. The Space Stone energy terraformed everything and everyone on Skyworld. The cosmic energy seeps into the water, the land, planets, and even the people who were sent there. So these four got abilities from the stones, but they are not the only ones. In Multiverse of Madness, we meet a variant of Maria Rambeau from another universe, and she seemingly gained abilities from the Space Stone just like Carol. But there is more than one way to gain powers from the stones. Monica Rambeau got her powers after being exposed to Wanda's energy. Wanda unleashes this wave of magic, creating an energy field around Westview. This hex changes people and objects on the molecular level.
It's not an illusion. Wanda is rewriting reality.
And when Monica goes through the hex, her DNA is altered and she gains powers.
So what's her connection to the stone then?
Well, Wanda's energy is tied to the Mind Stone on some level, even if she is a magical girl.
You are the piece of the Mind Stone that lives in me.
So that means that the Mind Stone's energy enhanced Monica through Wanda's magic. And Monica isn't the only one. You see, Carol was not exposed to the Space Stone directly. It was Mar-Vell's engine, but the engine was fueled by the Space Stone's power. And when Carol blew that core, she was bombarded with Space Stone energy, transforming her into one of the most powerful beings in the universe. Another character who got powers from secondhand exposure is Gaia from Secret Invasion.
Baby arms.
In her case, she can mimic Carol's abilities because she is a Super Skrull. Now this happened thanks to a juicy protein shake filled with superhuman DNA, including Carol's blood. So this means that once the energy of the stones changes someone, that energy can transfer to others without the stones even being involved. The stones were reduced to atoms, but their cosmic energy can still create more heroes thanks to the Infinity Beams, which opens up the door to endless possibilities.
So person, why are the stones giving people powers?
Well, it seems like the stones are choosing who gets powers and who doesn't. Now these are not just space rocks, they might be sentient. I mean, the Mind Stone contained a really complex neuron system that created Ultron. So the stones are choosing people to become cosmic champions to fulfill some sort of purpose in the universe. And the stones have an obvious preference because all the Infinity Beings are humans. And we think that this is actually at the heart of the matter. There is something about the human race that makes them compatible with the cosmic energy of the Infinity Stones. And it all goes back to Extremis from Iron Man 3. Now Extremis basically harnesses the body's operating system, triggering accelerated evolution and turning regular humans into the super variety.
That our mind, our entire DNA in fact, is destined to be upgraded.
Humans have inherited this potential for enhanced evolution. The Extremis is probably the MCU's way of explaining why so many humans end up gaining powers. But this could also be how the Infinity Stones are giving humans powers. Because we believe that this is what the stones are doing. They are triggering an enhanced evolution in people. This is exactly what Ultron wanted. He was created from the AI in the Mind Stone, and all he wanted to do was evolve.
We have to evolve.
Not just himself, but the entire human race. However, only a select few have the potential to become Infinity Beings. And this is because certain humans have a unique gene that reacts to the cosmic radiation and energy of the stones, which triggers rapid evolution. And we believe that this mystery gene is,
drum roll please, can anybody guess?
The mutant gene. Everything in the MCU now is building toward the arrival of the X-Men, and we believe that the stones are going to be connected to the mutants.
So Carol and Wanda are mutants?
Yes, and this tracks with the comics because, in case you didn't know, Wanda is a mutant in the books. She and Pietro are actually the children of none other than Magneto. Although I think they tried to retcon her origin recently, but never mind, they're still the kids of Magneto in my headcanon. And this is not just our theory, by the way. This is something that the MCU is obviously setting up. The show Ms. Marvel revealed the first official mutant in the MCU, and it is Kamala Khan.
Kamala, there's something different in your genes, like a mutation.
Well, unless you count Patrick Stewart's cameo in Multiverse of Madness. Now, this reveal ties into our theory, because Kamala's dormant abilities were awakened when she used an alien artifact, one half of the quantum bands.
The quantum bands were used to create every jump point in the universe.
Now, Kamala is part human and part clandestine. They are beings from another universe called the Nor Dimension. But the ending of Ms. Marvel seems to suggest that Kamala can access her abilities because she is a mutant. So the quantum band triggered Kamala's abilities because of her mutant gene. And this could explain how Wanda got powers from the Mind Stone. Wanda and Pietro had the latent mutant gene. Wanda could use magic, although she couldn't fully control or even access it whenever she wanted. Wanda's magical abilities were dormant, and she needed the key to open the door for her mutation.
So, little orphan Wanda got up close and personal with an Infinity Stone that amplified what otherwise would have died on the vine.
The Mind Stone triggered her X gene, and this is how her magical abilities were fully awakened. But what is magic really? It's not supernatural, it's energy, like the Ancient One explains here.
We harness energy drawn from other dimensions of the multiverse to make magic.
Wanda is manipulating dimensional energy to create her magic. And this is similar to another mutant who draws on dimensional energy, Scott Summers from the X-Men.
Wait, the guy with the laser eyes? He's a wizard, Harry?
Well, you see, the beams that Scott shoots from his eyes are actually energy from another dimension.
Wow, so his eyes are like tiny little portals.
Yeah, it's awesome. Cyclops is my favorite X-Man. Do him right, MCU. Do my boy right.
Every now and then, Summers, I remember why you're still in charge.
Also, when Carol, Kamala, and Monica use their powers, they manipulate light and harness it as cosmic energy. So, there is a correlation between these infinity beings and them shaping the energies of reality to turn them into superpowers. It's like they manipulate the forces of the universe, which is exactly what the stones are meant to do.
So you're saying that all mutants were created by the stones?
No, not at all. There is a distinction between mutants like the X-Men and the mutants that were enhanced by the Infinity Stones. And we believe it's about the stones choosing who's worthy to wield their cosmic energies.
Like Thor's hammer?
Not exactly. It's more of a natural selection. Now this is very important for our theory because this explains who programmed the mutant gene to react this way to the stones.
So who's responsible? Is it Kang? Or I bet it's Kang. He's behind everything.
You are close. Kang is part of this theory, but it's not him. This individual has ties to Kang and the Celestials, and we are talking about Sabanur, aka Apocalypse.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone?
Didn't see that coming, did you?
This is where the fun begins.
The mutants and the Infinity Beings are setting up Apocalypse, who could be the villain of the next saga, and we believe that it's going to be the Mutant Saga. So I want to do a quick exposition run about Apocalypse to connect all the dots in our theory. In the comics, Sabanur was born 5,000 years ago in ancient Egypt. He is considered to be the world's first mutant. Nor's destiny was influenced by a time-traveling Kang. You see, a younger version of Kang traveled to ancient Egypt from the future, and he became the pharaoh Rama-Tut. Now we've seen this Kang variant in Quantumania. Rama-Tut wanted to influence Nor before he became Apocalypse. Nor was destined to become one of the most powerful mutants in the world, and Kang wanted a taste of that power.
So Apocalypse is like Anakin, and Kang is the Palpatine.
That's a great parallel. High five. Kang's information from the future paved the road for Apocalypse throughout history. We could see this play out with Rama-Tut in the MCU, or with one of the other Kangs. After all, this is where the MCU is headed with the multiverse shenanigans in Secret Wars. But Kang's plan did not work out in the comics.
Because Apocalypse is powerful and he didn't want to be anybody's sidekick?
That, and also, Rama-Tut is responsible for the death of Nor's father figure, so...
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Anyways, this is how it ties into our theory. At some point, Nor found an alien spaceship that turned out to belong to the Celestials. The cosmic gods chose Apocalypse to serve as their herald on Earth. You see, in the comics, the Celestials are the reason why there are mutants on Earth. They manipulated the DNA of humans. Their experiments led to the creation of the X gene, which is how mutants came to be. The entire universe is the Celestials' big science project, and they want their experiments to reach their full potential. They enhance civilizations so they will create superhumans who will then protect their seed worlds. That's because there are celestial babies growing inside those planets, just like in the Eternals. All of these are the reasons why the Celestials picked Apocalypse to be the agent of evolution on Earth.
Now, as you can see, this is the evolution meter, and I've put God, the creator of everything, on the right side, and evolution on the left.
Apocalypse is immortal. He has been shaping and manipulating humanity across the centuries. He made himself a god, and many wars and genocides were started in his name. His entire ideology is survival of the fittest.
Survival of the fittest. Dog eat dog.
Dog eat dog. Dog eat dog here?
And according to Apocalypse, the mutants are the ones who are meant to rule everyone. And this ties into our theory. You see, Wanda and Pietro were test subjects in Hydra's experiments to create superhumans. Their mutant gene and unique DNA made them adaptable to the energy of the Mind Stone. Now this energy killed all the other candidates. Wanda and Pietro were the only survivors. And the concept of near-death experiences could explain which mutants are worthy to merge with the stones. Wanda's dormant abilities activated temporarily when the Stark missile landed in her living room. She was able to tap into her magic to save herself and her brother from what would have been certain death. The same thing happened with Carol. She blew up Mar-Vell's engine. The blast would have killed her if not for the Space Stone energy that was shielding her. It's almost like the stones test humans in these crucial moments to see who's strong enough to survive and transform into godlike beings. So it's full-on Darwinism. It is about survival of the fittest. And remember what Apocalypse wanted?
Those with the greatest power, this Earth will be yours.
But this experience of imminent death happens to other mutants in the MCU. Namor's people were dying from smallpox brought by Spanish conquistadors. Their mutation was triggered when they consumed the vibranium-infused herb, and Namor is confirmed to be a mutant just like Kamala. The same thing happens to the Black Panthers. When they consume the heart-shaped herb, they are enhanced by the vibranium. And when does this transformation happen? During the ceremony where the holder of the Black Panther title is buried alive, consuming the vibranium herb. And then they are sent to the ancestral plane, which is one of many afterlife dimensions in the MCU. So the vibranium herb is another alien artifact that reacts to humans who are dying.
The size, the material, it all fits.
You see, Apocalypse was born a really powerful mutant, but then he was augmented by celestial technology. This triggered another phase of mutation that turned him into this super god mutant. So what if the tech that enhanced Apocalypse was actually one of the stones? It could have been either the Space Stone or the Time Stones, because both of them were on Earth for a long time.
Or which Infinity Stone was it?
Well, I think it was the Time Stone, because that's been on Earth for a long time. Basically, like Odin placed the Space Stone on Earth sometime around the year 500, whereas we don't know how long the Time Stone's been on Earth.
My God, 1,000,000 years.
Plus, if it were the Time Stone that gave Apocalypse his powers, it would explain why he is immortal. And also, we know that there's a connection between the stones and the Celestials. In Guardians of the Galaxy, we've seen a Celestial using the Power Stone to mow down an entire civilization. This is Isan the Searcher, the same Celestial who chose Ensabanor to serve as his Herald of Evolution in the comics. The Celestials come from a primordial universe. This reality is where all the Infinity Stones originate from, and the cosmic gods are the ones who send the stones to every reality in the multiverse. This ties into the idea that the stones were created with the Big Bang.
Big Bang sends 6 elemental crystals hurtling across the virgin universe.
Also, the Celestial Seed in the Eternals kind of looks like an Infinity Stone. Kahori's episode of What If also gives us another hint to this connection. Kahori and her people are teleported to Skyworld. Now this is obviously an alien planet, but it's not some random world out in the cosmos. The skyline contains a hint of its location. This planet is orbited by 5 planets or moons. You see anything familiar? Now this eclipse looks exactly like this planet near Vormir.
Coincidence? I think not!
The Space Stone sent Red Skull to Vormir, the same world that stored the Soul Stone. So if Skyworld is right next to Vormir, that means that the Space Stone is sending people to this star system. And how did Nebula describe Vormir?
A dominion of death, at the very center of celestial existence.
This might be a type of planetary system that the Celestials use for their galactic experiments. Also, now that I think about it, Red Skull got powers from the stones too. He doesn't seem to age, he can levitate, and of course, he's got cosmic awareness since he knows everybody who comes to Vormir and can tell you who's your daddy.
Xenos, son of Elos, Tasha, daughter of Ivan, Clint, son of Edith.
Now this ability might have been granted to him by the Soul Stone though, since he can sort of look into a person's soul. Anyways, all of this can mean that Apocalypse was the first mutant that was enhanced by the cosmic energy of the stones. So then Apocalypse could use his powers to create more Infinity Beings. In the comics, he used the celestial tech to augment other humans and mutants. This is how he formed his 4 horsemen, with one of them being Archangel. This is also how Mr. Sinister was created, who is one of the best X-Men villains in the comics. Nathaniel Essex was a regular human scientist from the 19th century, and he was obsessed with brute forcing evolution. So Apocalypse genetically modified Nathaniel, turning him into a superhuman. With our theory, Apocalypse and Sinister would have found a way to genetically modify the X gene and enhance it with the energy from the stones. Now this is why someone must face certain death to be chosen by the stones. They must prove themselves to be strong enough to survive in Apocalypse's new world.
We have to evolve. There's no room for the weak.
So wait a minute, person. Why would the Celestials even care about creating mutants if Earth was going to hatch like an egg?
I am so happy you mentioned this because this takes us to the final point in our theory. Yes, everyone on Earth was going to die because of the emergence.
Well, they're all gonna die anyway.
For the Celestials, humanity was nothing more than an energy source to feed the celestial baby growing inside Earth's core. So Apocalypse knew about the emergence and he wasn't planning on being anyone's pawn. So this is why he created the Infinity Beings. He needed to build an army of godlike superhumans who could defeat the Celestials. Champions who could harness the cosmic energy of the Infinity Stones without actually needing to use the rocks. Now these beings aren't just mighty, in some cases they are even stronger than the stones. Wanda can reshape reality at will. She can create living beings out of thin air. Anyone else needs to wield the Reality Stone to achieve the same results. And Wanda was even able to destroy the Mind Stone with her energy. And this is something that was completely overlooked. I mean, she reduced one of the most powerful artifacts in the universe to atoms. That is huge. We have also seen Carol preventing Thanos from snapping his fingers in Endgame, and I believe that she was able to contain the cosmic energy of the stones in her fight with Thanos. Also, in What If, Kahori manipulated the stones to create a layer of energy around Captain Carter's body, which is the reason why she could use all 6 Infinity Stones. This makes Wanda, Carol, Kahori, and other Infinity Beings some of the most powerful people in the multiverse, especially now that the stones are reduced to atoms. But Apocalypse's plan goes beyond creating an army that can challenge the Celestials, Kang, and even Galactus. It is about defeating a multiversal entity that can destroy everything, the Phoenix Force.
Oh my God!
The Phoenix could be Apocalypse's endgame, the one entity that he needs the ultimate firepower to defeat and then control. This could take shape in the Mutant saga, when this entity will choose Jean Grey as its host, which will bring about the Dark Phoenix. And this could be the next mega event in the Mutant saga. So that's why we think that the Infinity Stones gift heroes with powers. Big shout out to the writer and editor of this video, Mr. Pavel T. So what do you guys think about our theory? Could the Infinity Beings be enhanced mutants? What other heroes do you think got their powers from the stones in the MCU? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below or at me on Twitter. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe and smash that bell for alerts. For ScreenCrush, I'm Ryan Airy.